Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So this is part 2. Again, a liberal is someone who respects someone's individual rights. I bring up the instance of Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is a place full of people who are quite often nice. Some of them are generous. Some of them have been described as the type of people that will give you the shirt off their back. But not so much these days. There's been a corporate wave that has perverted and corrupted Santa Cruz to the extreme. Just like in every other city in America, women are sexually exploited. Children find themselves in bad situations. There's certain economic disparity that is unacceptable. There's a certain process of gentrification that goes on. As much as it pains me to bring it up, I do not feel that black people are truly welcome in Santa Cruz, what is supposed to be perhaps the most multicultural city on the planet. The city that went the furthest to explain how they wish to accept differences. The purpose of this video is not to chastise the people of Santa Cruz per se. The purpose is to use it as an example of what is liberalism and what isn't. You see, when the corporate state stepped in, when I was making my videos, they sought to interfere. They started fuming me and poisoning me at a certain rate that didn't allow me to do martial arts. And they were fuming and poisoning me like the whole time. Basically my whole life, but it really picked up around 2012 or so. And I was really targeted to the extreme in around 2011, and the targeting picked up over time. At one point I was even crippled and blinded for several days, because of extreme fuming. After aircraft that resembled military aircraft, if I remember correctly, had flown over my house. My parents' house, where I stay, rather. So I used to go to Santa Cruz like 2016, 2017, and I would wear a certain martial art gi and martial art outfit. And part of why I was doing it was to see what people would do, and part of it was, the majority of it was I was proud to be a monotheistic and morally precise Royal African Falcon martial artist. Before I started using the word royal, I knew that I was connected to the royal family of my tribe, the Igbos, which is not a small tribe. It's one of the biggest tribes in the world. There are millions of Igbos in the world. This is not a small group of a few hundred or few thousand people. No offense to any smaller groups. But to be from the royal family of the Igbo tribe, when it comes to the center, the cultural center of the Son of God, is something that's rather important. But it is the fact that I'm the top martial artist of any group of people that ever lived that is the most important. And so when I'm walking there dressed as a martial artist, it's as the top martial artist ever possible due to tech, breeding, cheating, and generational ill-gotten gains ruling anyone out in the future. You can't just suppress me to the point where I've decided not to have children because the world is so evil and you've been fuming and poisoning me for so long. When Kuro Obi means black belt, and Obi in Igbo, which is my tribe, and Igbo spelled backwards is Obi, means king, heart, hut, essence, center, temple, core, and when used in its proper context to refer to one person who's the most righteous person, who is the representative of God, it means the Christos, and in the biblical context it extends into Christ. And in this context, Christ returning for the last time, the King of Kings, the martial art King of Kings, the King of Kings in terms of he who is the top martial artist, and from the top martial artist royal line is from the King of Kings royal line. Martial is marital scrambled, like in the word marriage, and Christ is the bridegroom, and martial means to order and to arrange. It's spelled M-A-R-S-H-A-L, I believe. It means to order and to arrange. Okay, so I put that in kind of a perspective for you. So I was walking through Westcliff, what have you, and I could tell by the way people responded to me that they did not respect a righteous black man. I could tell I did not look corny. I did not look cheesy. You could tell that I could strike, fashion everyone, and I could outmaneuver them. I had on Cortez, which are shoes that you could do martial arts with effectively. Bruce Lee had his shoes he wore. I have my shoes that I wore. and I had on a kung fu outfit in a way that demanded the utmost respect. Very similar to Bruce Lee and Chinese Connection without being corny at all. When you're in as good shape as I was, there was nothing corny about you wearing that outfit as a 6'4" black man walking with righteousness and justice and honor and splendor, wisdom and integrity. So as I'm walking around, I could tell that these people did not have an open mind. They did not have a willingness to accept and respect different behaviors, even from the most righteous person that ever lived. Now again, some people there are a lot cooler than others. Some people there are very, very decent people with a secular skill. Very likable, very friendly, very decent people. Type to say hi to you. They don't know you. Not everyone does that. Type to, they give to the poor and so on and so forth, historically. But the people that dominate the city, the people that dominate the country and the planet, very bad people. And they have lots of people helping them out. And the people who would otherwise rally to me and hear me out, they are terrorized. The council culture groups, the conservative groups as well, they terrorize them into submission. So when they try to express being a liberal, they can't quite do it. And they've settled for being labeled a liberal without actually being a liberal, without actually believing in freedoms and individual rights, without actually believing that the right to protest for right is the greatness of America, or what it should have been at least, something that will be lost forever after my flesh dies. It will symbolize the final failure of America to be America in terms of what it says on paper, as Martin Luther King would say. So I decided to use that as an example. Those who believe that I should be given my rightful place are open to that idea. They respect what is respectable, not just a different opinion, because you don't have to necessarily respect a different opinion. They might think that you should do something horrible like molest kids or something. That's not respectable. Shouldn't accept and respect child molesters, being unrepentant and continuing to do those despicable things. But you have to be open to the idea of giving the most righteous person that ever lived with a universal scale, that every person from every faith with any sense and every philosophy with any sense can accept and appreciate and know is true. You have to give that person the utmost respect. That means standing with them. If we expect the most feeble and scared of women to stand with their husband if he's doing the right thing, how much more should we expect from all of humanity to stand with the most righteous person that will ever possibly live? This is the only time in history where that possibility exists. And even in Santa Cruz, they are terrified of what will happen if they do that. Thank you.